right back. First of the month, I'm a running back. Same day, why I'm a running back. Friday, payday, running back. Running back, running back, running back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Running back, running back, running back. Hello, that's the Jag calling. Let me go.
Coach, it is something not seen all that often in these parts. Playoff football in North Carolina. We've got it at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. This will be taken very short. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Here to his running back. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And right away he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 37-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Mahomes to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. Shaq Thompson, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for fourth down. For a running back, that's kind of depressing, right? You get all that yardage, but still no first down.
Well, it was a mile, maybe a mile and a half to the first down mark.
Yeah.
So he did all he could to get there. A little disappointing at the end, but boy, they gave it a great effort, didn't they? Got to give him a little respect for that, don't you?
And he really helped his yards per carry average, that's for sure.
Yeah, quietly, he'll take that.
Ready! 15 line. 15 line. 61, matchbox lights. Let's go.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Hey, check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike 21.
Hey.
Squeeze down the level. Check safety. Check safety.
5.
2nd and 6. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
Let's go. 70. 80. Hey, Orville.
Hey, check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Push him back. Push him back.
Now.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Check 50.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy.
And nothing but daylight ahead. 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 82 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A big play there for Carolina. 41 yards on the ground.
Check.
Hey!
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got the hook up to Moore. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
This is Hines. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
60 outlaw. Hey, Charlie.
It's out time.
General West.
Check 52.
Let's go.
On third down, Hines. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. On the dump-off at 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And that's caught by Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Panthers have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. On 2nd down now. It's Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 41.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
He'll drop to throw. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flush to his right. Pass incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Go! Ready?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be incomplete.
The second down pass. Thrown to the sideline and incomplete.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Look at me. Get it.
They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure right. Taking a shot for Samuel. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall.
And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
This is taken at the 15.
Let's go, baby.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the inning.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Carolina. Naeem Hines, 78 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A very solid gain of 27. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Attack! He's coming! We got double up. On Sunday.
Take equipment. Exit. Equipment. Mike 5.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Hey, 15. Check. Hey, 43, 15.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Get ready, get ready. Yep. Get ready. Slam, slam, slam.
Now it's Hines. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready? 15, Ronnie. 15 line. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Yes, yes. Hit it.
On 3rd down, Hines. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Fielded at the 33. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he's got this down to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball, just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wild Card matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC Wild Card bout. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 to make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Let's go. Switch.
X3, 218, chop it.
Mike 27.
Hey, Haywood.
Give me that ball.
Here's 2nd and 8. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ferguson. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
You got blocked me. Bang.
61, matchbox lights.
27. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D.
Now.
Back to throw now on first down. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Smoke.
Switch. Hatch it.
On the ball.
And that'll set him back 5. Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, zoom.
Check Mike 27. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Big Griffin.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He finds Corey Davis. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Four down. Watch the edge.
Go. Get it.
2nd and 11. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Let's go, team. Gonna be a long day offense.
Hey, 57.
No.
Hey, 43, 15.
Check 13. Kill.
What's that?
And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. Mecole Hardman, the intended target.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Vikings.
50, yellow, 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 yellow.
Check right 54. Right 54. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Hey, 57, 57. Come back.
Mike's 54.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. They'll give him a yard on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Attack, attack!
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Check 99. Check 26. Check 26.
80 weapon. Hey, orbit. Rocket. Shoot.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll escape to his right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Protein spill. Hey, team 6.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey!
Now a give, right side. It's Hines, and he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Hey, Delta. Check. Fresno. On the ball.
They'll look to throw here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
15, yellow.
Check. Lucky.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
They still playing soft. Y'all playing the wrong foot.
Yellow.
Whip. Watch the whip. Hey, check 25.
Switch.
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Here we go. 10 Lobo. 5.
They'll run on 1st down. Hines, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
Check. Sponge. No.
Hey, Charlie. Look at me. Zip.
Here's a 2nd and 7. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
64.
He'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over, Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going in.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. So now out is the Panther offense as they'll come in and go for the 2-point try.
Check out
3. 61, matchbox, Mike.
For the 2-point conversion.
right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
He don't know no better. Hey, Foxtrot. Yo, go.
Don't say nothing. Hey, watch.
Lee Griffin.
They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes. He's got Smith here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Watch time, tight is right. Watch time, tight is right.
2nd and 6.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now they try the right side here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the kick here will be good, but that doesn't do anything besides maybe make the final score a tiny bit more palatable, as that's how this one comes to an end. And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year, but I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment. But once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance.
Came from the bottom and now we is